Welcome. This is another class of Emmanuel's Excel learning. I believe we are all doing well. All right, so today I want us to go to the if conditions in Excel. If conditions in Excel. Now, with the previous video we did if conditions when you need to aggregate functions in Excel where you can, instead of using sum if, you can now use the sum, you can now use the average, you can now use the count to solve for aggregation of if conditions in Excel. Now, let's go to the if condition itself. The if condition itself. Now, the if condition has three argument, three argument, three argument, three argument. Now, if you type R equal to IF, now these are the argument, logical test, value if true, value if false. And so the logical test is the criteria. Okay, is the criteria that you state the criteria, and then the value if true, that if the criteria is true, this is the value you want it to come. But if the criteria is not true, this is the value you want it to come. Okay. All right. So you first state your criteria, and then if the criteria is true, you put the value you want there. If the criteria is not true, then you put the value here. Okay. So now let's start with the column 2, the gender. Okay. So gender. So let's say this is new gender. So let's say we want to clean this data. We want to clean this data. So we want to make all the M males and then all the F females. So we say if it is M, make it male. If it is F, make it female. All right. So with the if condition, it says equal to IF, the bracket will come, the logical test. So you say if it is M, if B2 is equal to M, because this is a test, we put it in what? Quotation. If it is M, so this is the criteria, okay? So this is the criteria. If it is M, make it male. Male. But if it is not M, make it female. Okay, so this is the condition. So let's understand the argument. The first argument is logical test. The second is value if true. The third is value if false. So you are saying if this is M, so if the first column you want to work with, if B2 is M, so anywhere you see M, make it male. But if it is not M, make it female. So that is the if. All right. So this is it. Okay. So because the first one is M, it is male. And so we double click here. Good. So now we are done. So you can see any place there is F, it is female. Okay. Any place there is F, there is female. Are we good? That is good. So this is what we have done. We use the if condition. That if this is M, make it male. If it is not M, then it is female. Simple. Okay, let's do another one. Let's group the salary. So group salary. Grouped salary. Okay. So now let's say that all those who are earning less than 1,005, all those who are learning less than 1,005, let's call them average. So all those who are earning less than 1,005, we call them average. And all those earning more than 1,005, we call them rich. Okay? We call them rich. All right, so let's do our if condition. So it will be equal to if bracket open. So the logical test is, say, if this one, okay, is less than 1,005, okay, if this one is less than 1,005, we call them average, okay, we call them average. But if it is not less than 1,005, let's call them rich. So this is the condition. You are saying that if it is less than 1,005, let's do it average. If it is not true, if it is false, let's call them rich. Simple. So enter. So we have average. So you double click here. So all the places we have less than 1,005, it is average. And so this is equal to 1,005. So it is what? Rich. Okay, good. Now, all the places that are less than 1,005, they called it what? Average. And all the places that are not less than 1,005, we call it what? Rich. So what? This is what? This is how it is, okay? This is how it is. All right. So now let's do the last if condition. Let's do the last if condition. I want you all to understand what we are doing, okay? What we are doing. So let's say, all right, so I'm sure we all understand what we are doing. Okay. So now let's say we want to do the employee's ID. So revised employees ID. Revised employees ID. Okay. So now let's say that all those people who have all those people who have all those people whose employees ID is less than 5. We call them newcomers. And then all those who are 5 or greater than 5, we call them old employees. Okay, or old timers. Like they've been with the company for a long time. So all those whose employees ID is less than 5, we call them new employees. Let's use all those whose employee ID is less than 5, we call them new employees. But for those whose employee ID is 5 or greater than 5, we call them experienced employees. All right, so now you can pause the video, then you type your function and let's see if you understand it. So all those whose employees ID is less than 5, you call them new employees. And all those whose employees ID is 5 or greater than 5, we call them experienced employees. Okay, so now let's go. So equal to if. So the logical test is the criteria. Okay. So if this one is less than 5, then call them new employees. then call them new employees. But if they are not less than 5, call them experienced employees. Okay? So we close the bracket, enter. Okay? So now if we double click here, good. So now you can see that all those whose employee ID is 5 or greater than 5, we have experienced employees. But for all those whose employee ID is less than 5, it is what? New employees. All right, so now this is the if condition. This is the if condition. You can use if condition to make a lot of changes to your Excel. You can use it in your data cleaning. Okay, you can use it in your data cleaning. You can use it for a lot of things in Excel. All right, thank you very much. We'll meet again. Bye.